are nearly 30 million acres of federal land in Wyoming and about 640 million acres nationwide. These lands have come under attack by those who want to transfer them to the states or privatize them.
Two examples are the recently defeated Public Lands Constitutional Amendment in Wyoming and H.R. 621 proposed by Utah Congressman Jason Chaffetz. H.R. 621 called for the sale of 3.3 million acres of federal land. Fortunately, both of these bills failed due to overwhelming opposition from the public. Now the battlefield appears to be shifting toward a fight for the control of management. Some elected officials are trying to shift management from predominantly federal control to state and local control.
This would be a major victory for them because they would gain control of decision-making, while presumably the federal government would continue to pay the costs. To better understand this battle, it is helpful to take a look at the steps in the management cycle. Typically, these include planning, budgeting, implementation, enforcement, and evaluation. In recent years, there have been numerous attempts to reduce the capabilities of our federal land management agencies at various points in the management cycle.
For example, the U.S. House of Representatives recently passed House Joint Resolution 44, which would prohibit the new BLM planning process. Planning Rule 2.0 would increase opportunities for public input. Opponents have objected to the rule, claiming it increases the input of the general public and therefore decreases the significance of input from stakeholder groups such as agriculture and mining.
Budgets have also been attacked. Forest Service staffing has been reduced dramatically since 1998. Some have suggested this was a deliberate attempt to make federal management less effective in order to bolster the case for state control. Budget cutting appears to be continuing today. While running for Congress, Liz Cheney told the Sheridan Press she would work to scale back the BLM, in part by cutting off funding.
In another attempt to gain control of management, Utah Congressman Jason Chaffetz is sponsoring H.R. 622. This bill would take law enforcement away from the Forest Service and BLM. Block grants would be provided to local governments to take over law enforcement responsibilities.
In the future, there will almost certainly be additional attempts to shift management of our federal lands to state and local governments. Local control advocates will try to convince the public they can do a better job of managing our public lands. What they won't tell you is that 330 million Americans would lose input to how these lands are managed.